New tonight at 6, a family seeking justice for their 5-year-old daughter who they say was attacked by a German Shepherd. That dog is declared potentially dangerous by the county because they say wasn't the first attack.
But the family says not enough is being done. CBS 17 investigative reporter Mary Smith is digging deeper into what happened and what the family wants done, and a warning, some of these images are graphic.
Am I going to die? Am I going to die?
Brenna Mata says those were the questions her little girl asked on their way to an emergency room last December.
I will never forget the look on her face during that time because it scared me. I didn't know if she was in shock or what it was, but she just was a blank stare and ghost white.
She says her daughter, Brenna, was attacked by a neighbor's German Shepherd named Jimmy after he escaped his backyard. Distant screams, Mata says, were captured by another neighbor's camera tucked behind Christmas lights. You can see off in the distance what looks like a dog running around with a person chasing it.
From here, I start running over. And as I'm running over, that's when I see the dog, engage and disengage 3 times, shaking her violently. And the demeanor of the dog was to kill.
They took Brenna to a pediatric ER where she got stitches, shots, and medicine.
There was tissue hanging out of her legs, but they explained that they couldn't close stitch that because there's infections a lot that happen from dog bite incidents. So they just kind of put a couple of stitches in it to leave it open, but close it enough where the tissue wasn't just still hanging out.
According to records from Cumberland County Animal Services, the dog's attack on Brenna was a level 5 on the Dunbar scale. That's the last level before a victim is dead. The Matas say one of the dog's owners stopped by their house after the incident.
He told my husband that he had no idea that the dog could ever hurt someone at all. But then I had heard from a neighbor that probably wasn't true and that something had happened prior to us moving in here.
That's something documented in a report from Cumberland County Animal Services. It shows in 2020, Jimmy was accused of biting a 16-year-old while the child was walking in the neighborhood. His injuries pictured here. Following that incident, the county declared Jimmy as a potentially dangerous dog. The potentially dangerous dog determination letter given to his owners dated November 6, 2020, says a list of conditions must be met and maintained for the life of the dog as long as it resides in Cumberland County. Some of the conditions: he must be secured in a home, in an outdoor kennel, or wearing a muzzle and on a 4-foot leash held by an adult. It also states they must purchase and renew annually a potentially dangerous dog permit for $100. It goes on to say if at any point they fail to continue to meet all of the above requirements, or if it is determined that Jimmy poses a threat to public health or safety, the director of CCAC may revoke your permit and Jimmy will be confiscated and euthanized. The county confirms Jimmy's permit expired in November 2022 and was not renewed. Just over a year later, Brenna Mata was attacked.
I really hope that everyone can understand this is something that was so easily preventable. This was not an accident. This was something that was predictable on all levels because it was in black and white of how the dog was supposed to be contained.
Documentation from Animal Services says one of Jimmy's owners confirms he pushed out from under the fence. A photo sent to CBS 17 following a public records request shows what looks like the area he escaped from. Documents state Jimmy's owners euthanized him following his attack on Brenna. CBS 17 reached them by email, and they declined to speak with us. According to this letter dated May 1st, 2024, they were declared nuisance reckless owners because they were not in compliance with the PDD requirements. CBS 17 asked Cumberland County Animal Services if Jimmy's owners were ever cited or charged. They told us the owners were not cited as their dog was euthanized, thereby eliminating the threat to the community. Because there were no prior complaints of noncompliance with PDD requirements, there was no cause to believe the owners were not in compliance. Due to no cause, there was no need for an inspection. The Matas say they've hired an attorney and they want to see changes to the law.
I would love to see harsher punishment for this because I don't think we're going to see a change at all until we start seeing some real repercussions for this type of behavior.
A statement from the Mata's attorney says in part, "We hope that this case serves as a wake-up call to law enforcement, animal services, and all owners of potentially dangerous dogs in Cumberland County so that attacks like this can be prevented in the future." The Matas say their daughter has some scarring from the attack and sometimes panics when she hears a dog barking. We are continuing to dig deeper on this topic, and we will bring you more in the coming weeks. For CBS 17 News, I'm Mary Smith.